And I wanted to talk about Renee Good and the murder that an ICE agent did against Renee Good. I want to talk to you about it from an immigration attorney's point of view and regarding the law of what ICE agents are supposed to do and not supposed to do. So let me just get this out of the way to start. It was cold-blooded murder. Okay, it wasn't justified in any way whatsoever. It was cold-blooded murder, and that guy, that ICE agent who did it, needs to be prosecuted at the state level, because if he's prosecuted at the federal level and gets convicted, Trump will claim he's a hero of some type and pardon him. But Trump can't pardon state convictions. And the murder occurred in the state, and it wasn't on federal property, and therefore they have the jurisdiction to prosecute him. So let's hope they do. But I wanted to talk about these ICE agents. As I'm sure you've heard, they're hiring people left and right, many of them who are racist, many of them who are uneducated, many of them who have trouble reading and writing, I understand, and they certainly don't have a concept of the Constitution. And if they do, they feel empowered by Trump to do whatever they want, regardless. And that's not how the law works. ICE agents are supposed to enforce the civil laws that exist on the books against persons who are not U.S. citizens. They have no jurisdiction to do anything against the U.S. citizen. They absolutely have no jurisdiction whatsoever. That means that if there's an ICE agent and if there's a U.S. citizen, ICE agent can't do a thing. Okay, they can't question them, they can't interrogate them, they can't detain them, they can't put them in handcuffs, and I think this goes without saying, but they certainly can't murder them. And they seem to believe at this point that they have jurisdiction to do whatever they want with whomever they want, regardless of status. Okay? I mean, it used to be with this ICE agency under Trump that they would profile, and if the person wasn't white working at a particular location, they would just profile and go in after them and determine later if they were or were not a U.S. citizen. The law doesn't work like that. The law doesn't work backwards, that you have to prove you're a U.S. citizen. Okay, they have to have some type of evidence that you are not, that you are here illegally, that you don't have status. Okay, back in the good old days when the law was followed, that's the way it was, and that's the way it's supposed to be. That's the law. So it got bad enough as it is with the profiling. But if you saw Renee Good, she was a Caucasian woman, and there was absolutely no evidence whatsoever that she was not a U.S. citizen. So, of course, we have the lies from the administration that she was using the car as a, you know, a device against, as a weapon against the ICE agent. And I know, they know that it's a lie, and that if and when this ever gets to court, which hopefully it will, they'll play the tape, they'll play the video, they'll play all the videos from everybody who was taking it, and they will see that's an outright lie. So, what we have is an ICE agent being confrontational with a U.S. citizen of which he had no jurisdiction and positioning himself in a manner that did not put him at risk at all and was certainly not in a manner which they claim that the car was being used as a weapon. It doesn't even behoove you to talk about that because it's not even arguably true, okay? There's not even a gray line there. So he positioned himself to kill her, and that's what he did. So we have ICE agents who are blatantly exceeding their authority and blatantly violating the Constitution because they think they have a green light to do so. They think they have the green light to do whatever, wherever, whenever they want, with whomever they want. They think they can do carte blanche on anyone, and it's not true. It's not true. Just like, if you're a police officer in Minneapolis, you have no jurisdiction to act as a police officer in New York. Okay? In fact, ICE agents cannot enforce criminal laws because they have no jurisdiction. They can only enforce civil laws. And the civil laws are against those who are not U.S. citizens, who don't have status. They can put them in removal proceedings and so forth. So let's talk for a minute about when, if at all, an ICE agent can use deadly force against someone. And obviously, we're talking about someone who's not a U.S. citizen. I mean, it just bedoggles your mind that not only was it murder, but it was murder without the jurisdiction to do anything with that person. Okay, I mean, they can't even argue the person was illegal and therefore, the officer had jurisdiction to do this. An officer, an ICE agent, can only use deadly force if in an objective view, their life is in imminent danger. We've already talked about this. Any juror on this planet who looks at the videos will not conclude that this officer had an imminent fear in his mind of being killed. Do you know what was in the glove compartment of her vehicle? Stuffed toys. I mean, the stuffed toys were sticking out of the glove compartment. So, even if the person who's an illegal alien is running away from the ICE officer, that officer does not have authority to kill that person running away. They can tackle him, they can run after him, but they can't kill him because their own life is not in danger. So when they think that they can use deadly force whenever they want, in whatever situation, they can't. It is absolutely illegal. And this is from an immigration attorney's point of view, which is the legal and the law point of view. I guarantee you that these ICE agents who are doing this believe that if somebody is running away from them, they have the right to kill them. Guarantee you they think that. And that is the farthest that it can get from the truth. So there'll be retribution at some point in the future. There will be. I mean, they'll be prosecuted. These guys will be prosecuted. I mean, they're wearing masks, and nobody, no real police-related official ever, ever wears a mask. You know that. They know that. They're trying to hide their illegal acts. That's what they're doing. But everybody knows who killed Renee Good, don't they? So retribution will come, prosecutions will come. This will not go untouched. But in the meantime, I want you to keep in mind when the only time they can use deadly force against somebody else. By somebody else, I mean someone who they have jurisdiction over. Okay? All right. Well, that's it for tonight. Have a good night.